Hello friends, once again welcome to my channel. I'm Paco Jedi. Today I will going to bring you something very special back from my childhood or adolescence, whatever you want to say, when I was a teenager. You know, being a geek is around those years. You know, the 70s was pretty awesome, and also in the 60s. But anyways, I like these cartoons because, first of all, they're anime. They came from Japan, and the only thing that I have seen from Japan at that time was Speed Racer, and then I saw Astro Boy. But then I saw these guys, and their story stuck with me because they're 5 kids, teenagers as well, and they all are bionically enhanced, and they can transform from their human way that they have their shirts and all that stuff into this. And this is the leader, Mark. He is number 1. I got the number 5 shirt because that's tiny. That's the pilot of this beautiful ship, the God Phoenix. It's amazing the things that they can do with that, because that airplane or ship can transmute as well, but all 5 needed to be present. And then of course they have this. They'll have this in their utility belt, and they have this bracelet that helps them transmute. Why am I talking about all of this? Because it is my very first themed lightsaber that I ever done, and I did it in their honor because I was just so much in love with this series. And here it is. Remember, guys, that I told you before when I did the review of the Battle Master from Laredo Sabres? Well, this is it. And this is a collab by a few people, which I am going to describe in a few minutes. So this is the Battle Master, and then as you can see, these are the 5 characters. Their names are etched in Arabic with a color yellow, and then this is the Phoenix emblem that they all have when they transform or transmute. You have the their G4 on the bottom, and then of course you have the God Phoenix on the side. And by the way, the G also stands for Gatchaman, because it's also another name that it had when it was in Japan. Battle of the Planets was actually changed when it came over to the States. So anyways, this is how it went. I sent this to Chris from Laredo Customs He first powder coated this portion, sent it to Brian, then Brian etched everything else, sent it back to Chris, and then Chris finished, did the finishing touch with the red and the yellow, all these accents, and it came absolutely fantastic. I'm very, very pleased with how it came, because I already had this, and as you remember from my previous review, the reason that I had the Battlemaster that I bought it was because you can put in an LGT chassis in there, because it has no buttons, no controls. Everything is done with gesture controls. So without further ado, let's open up this beauty to see once again what it offers, just for a small reminder. Alright, so I'll be right back. Alright guys, here I have the hilt. Now, let me explain a little bit about the Battlemaster. Battlemaster comes completely clean, and I believe I did a review on it. This is a Laredo Sabres hilt. Now, as you can see, I'm gonna call it the trifecta. All right, so Laredo Sabres made it. Civilized Weaponry did the etching, and then Royal Customs Armory did the powder coating. All right, so these three gentlemen are exceptionally talented. I don't have to say anything else than besides of being talented, they're the nicest people to talk to. So I want to thank all of you, Gustavo, Brian, and Christopher, to make this thing possible. So here we go, and I'm gonna grab it right here, and I'm gonna kind of like slowly turn it. You guys can see the details of the powder coating and the etching as well. Alright, so this lightsaber, it's very simple. It has just kind of like three components to take out, actually four. You have the emitter, I can take it off, the bottom section pommel, and then of course I have the other section here of the pommel, which is kind of like a resonance of kind of a button. It comes with another one so it can silence it, but I just went with this one because just to keep the aesthetic and the vision of what I was looking for on this particular hilt. So let's go and open it up. And I'm gonna put this right here. Right, I had to put a little bit of lubricant because that was a little noisy. So anyways, here it is. Now, the interesting thing is that this hilt, like I mentioned on the review that I did about it, is that it is done with the idea. It has nothing on it. There's no buttons. There's no triggers. There's nothing. It moves completely with battle mode, and of course, it takes all the gestures that you need. And you can use any core that is either LGT or TXQ, I believe, and it has to be sanded around this area so it can actually fit inside the emitter when I put it on. Gustavo at Laredo Sabres already has them made, but the exact measurements. So if you're interested, you can contact them. And I just dropped the battery. All right, so this one is a Xenopixel that I chose. Why? Because I like the whole concept of playing with it with the app with the Bluetooth, and I can set up everything. Now the font that I have for this particular hilt came to me as a gift, and it's not available to anybody else, and it actually was originally made for CFX. I used Brian Connor's converter to convert in Xenopixel because there were styles that were kind of like similar to the original styles from CFX. And the future, once I get a little bit more proficient in CFX, I would love to have all the effects of the blade style that the person actually when they created it. So let's proceed to put this in. It slides right in, and you can put it, doesn't matter if you put it from the emitter or from the pommel, and it fits great. So now I gotta open it again, and actually I have to turn it on. So let's turn this thing on.
Power on.
Battle of the planet. Invincible.
Alright, so let's put it back in. Yeah, this is a simple chassis. It doesn't have any kill switches or anything. Maybe in the future, if I can maybe print one and I can add a kill switch, I will do it. So now,
Battle of the planet.
there we go.
G-Force, Princess, Tiny, He-Up, Mark, Jason, and watching over them from Center Neptune, their computerized coordinator, 7-Zark-7. Invincible.
Alright, now quickly I am going to put a blade in. I don't have a 3/4 short blade, so I'm going to use just a regular blade. And the interesting about this particular setup with Laredo is like it covers exactly where the retention screw is. So nope, and I forgot to tighten it up a little bit, so that happens. But anyways, this is very convenient that you can have such a great hilt for practicing, because this hilt is actually Battlemaster. It's has an attachment right here. Actually, it's a different part for the emitter, so it's kind of like a little bit thinner, and you can purchase from Laredo, from Gustavo, you can purchase the it's like a rod, and the rod is hard enough so you can practice your styles. Oh, here we go.
Battle of the planet. G-Force, Princess, Tiny, He-Up, Mark, Jason, and watching over them from Center Neptune.
Okay, friends, what do you think? Transmute. I have the shirt right here. That's how it went. You all remember? Anyways, I am very pleased once again with this build, and I am going to thank the following people that made it possible, because it's very difficult to draw something, which I am not an artist. So I had kind of, between making photocopies and kind of like drawing whatever, I kind of like conveyed the idea to Chris and to Brian, so it can be transcribed or transferred into their minds of what they wanted to do with the hilt, because obviously they're the experts and they can tell you if things can be done or not. So it came about, and first I need to thank Laredo Sabres, Gustavo, for making the Battle Master. Then I also have to thank Aldhani Sabres, because he was the one that actually did the LGT chassis for the size of the hilt. Then here comes Mr. Brian Lynn from Civilized Weaponry. He did the etching, beautiful job. Mr. Chris Royal from Royal Customs Armory. He did the powder coating. I really liked how everything came out to be, which I thought it was not going to transpire. And like I said before, it was a little back and forth, but that's how things work sometimes in this community. So anyways, hope you liked it. This one is staying in my collection. It's not going anywhere. If you have any questions about this particular lightsaber or any other lightsaber, you can always contact me through any of my social platforms. You can also visit me at biker.net. That's my website. There you will find my link tree as well, and also a few other things that might help you. I did in TikTok about 2 weeks ago, I did a 3-part series of how to buy a lightsaber. It's pretty general. There's no illustration, but if you want to go into more detail, I can always send you to the right people's or that they're doing these kind of things with more illustration, if you want to say that. So anyways, lots of more coming on my way to do more reviews. Sorry I took me a little while between technicalities with the cameras, and I had Wi-Fi problems that now I have fiber optic, which is fantastic. Anyways, this is Biker Jedi signing off. May the Force be with you.
I have a squeaky wheel.